everybody. So, I just want to give an introduction. Y'all can just call me Calvin. I want to ask anybody that come across this video, could you go to the bio, go to my bio and just read the bio? It's not real long. It'll probably take you like 2 minutes to read it, maybe a minute if you're a fast reader or less. Promise you it's not long at all. But with that being said, I just want to give a little bit of insight about who I am and my purpose of creating this channel. So, I am an entrepreneur. I am an entrepreneur that is still exploring different avenues of like different business practices. And with that being said, with this video right here that I'm actually making, this being the first video for this YouTube channel, I'm also going to actually make my first attempt ever of intentionally like seeing how far I can go with actually making YouTube content that I can monetize eventually. But let me put this in there. The main purpose of this channel, along with that being the experience that I want to encounter while I'm here on this journey, there will be limited editing. I'm at home. I'm creating content from home. I got 2 cats. You might hear the cat sometime in the background. Cats might even jump up on the countertop. I may even stop for a 20-second break to just give me a refill of orange juice. This channel is designed to connect with people that's more than likely in the same position that I've been in 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 20 years ago. From a concept of like business and building, whether you building up a business, whether you have a podcast platform, you got music, you got some type of form of art. It's a lot of different business models that I've like dived off into. When I say dived off into, meaning I've spent countless hours studying, just reading about different type of businesses. Then from reading about businesses, that transition into like actually experiencing like, okay, let's see how this works for me. Let's see how this will work for me. Like, okay, this guy was very successful at creating and generating and leveraging $10,000 a month. That's cool and all, but let me see how this worked for me. This may be one of the longest videos because it's the first video. And I just want to try to kind of like squeeze a little bit of this, a little bit of that, just so people can kind of have like an idea of like the type of person I am, how I'm going to articulate things that I talk about. I'm going to do my best to keep everything in layman's terms to where everybody that's viewing the content can really understand. I'm going to really dive deep down into a lot of different areas of entrepreneurship, um, business growth, uh, being consistent, self accountability, being spiritually present in the moment of being on the journeys at all times. So you're going to hear me talk like that. You're going to hear me say a lot of different stuff. I'm going to use a lot of different words. I'm going to do my best to keep the profanity at a minimum. Now, I've had a lot of social media pages that I've grown and I've made a lot of money on. not just money. I've met a lot of great quality, resourceful people on these social media platforms. Also, it's going to be a different. It's going to be a real different experience being on YouTube because usually my motto and my concept when I'm on social media is usually like not focusing on like likes, not necessarily focusing on likes and follows. But it's kind of like different for YouTube because YouTube requires for you to have a certain amount of followers for you to have like monetization to get offers into the monetization program, all based on what type of content. It's a lot of red flags that they be looking for when you creating content and you looking to become monetized. But like I said, I don't want to stay on one topic for too long. I just want to kind of like dib and dab on this and on that. But as I continue to make these videos, I'm going to focus more on delivering whatever that base topic is for that video. Like, and with that being said, also, you're gonna hear me using phrases like with that being said from time to time. I might switch them up. Sometimes these little phrases be in my head. But just pay attention to what I say versus what I look like, what's in my background, what I'm drinking, because you might miss something that's very vital in the process that you're in right now that could help you along the way. I got to where I'm at, and I'm proud of where I'm at. I ain't gonna lie because I know where I came from. But I got to where I'm at by taking in insight, taking in information, not being biased. And I'm not no rich, wealthy, I'm not no millionaire or no person that feel like I'm better than anybody else. I just know where I came from versus where I'm presently at. So I'm forever grateful just for that. Even if I never even got a follower, even if I never made no money, like if I crash today, you feel me, hit rock bottom, I'll be grateful for the experiences because I know I can, you feel me, bounce back and achieve. Some people don't understand that because they never bounced back once they fell off. But we're gonna talk all about solutions and how to get to those places where you're trying to get to. And not only are we going to talk about it, we're going to do it. And that's another reason I created this page with 0 followers, 0 content to show y'all. I only want to connect with the people that want to grow. So instead of me coming on here with one of my other pages that's already grown, I want to be able to show y'all this going to be proof that I don't have no followers. I'm doing this. I'm going the organic route. So anybody that's looking to grow their page, anybody that's been thinking about starting a YouTube page, anybody that's been inspired to be monetized off of doing what they enjoy doing, which is presenting stuff, making YouTube content, whatever it might be. Like I'm on like 5 different platforms and I have over 20 social media pages. So it can get complicated sometimes. I've actually had to sit down with myself and go through a process of eliminating some of the social media pages that I'm just really not concentrating on putting energy to or growing or promoting anything on, and just put the ones at the forefront that I really want to grow. You hear that noise in the background? That's my cat playing with this copper toy. But like I said before, at the beginning of this video, I'm at home. I'm making this content in the comfort of my home. I usually make content when I feel like talking, when I feel like I'm in the energy to deliver a message. If I'm not feeling it, I'm not going to deliver it because you're going to get the halfway version of it. I want to give you the full energy of what I really want to say to y'all when I'm sitting here talking. Um, Another thing I want to add in there is that moving forward, I'm I'm not going to concentrate on being one of those folks that's constantly reminding people to hit the like button, share the content, subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna totally leave that up to you because sometimes, for me, honestly, I'm on all these different platforms. Sometimes looking at content. Sometimes I'm just taking breaks from even looking at content and just creating content. 90% of the time, I'm creating content if I'm on social media. The other 10% of the time, I'm really intentionally looking for valuable insight that I could use, that I could apply to whatever it is that I'm working on in my journey of life, on my journey of life. So that's what I'm usually doing when I'm engaged into like content, period. 90% of the time, I'm creating it. The other 10%, I'm actually valuing the creators, the content creators that's making content, that's giving insight. So I know what it feel like. So for me, I'm not gonna sit here and cap. I'm not even gonna play. I ain't gonna play with y'all. I do look at content sometime, and I find myself being so interested by the content, I get lost and I find myself scrolling to the next video, scroll to the next video. But I hold myself accountable and I say, well, hold on. Did I like the last 3, 4, 5 videos? And then I start liking videos just to support it. Then I start engaging because I'm actually enjoying this content. I was looking at this page last night and it was like 45 minutes had went past before I had realized I was on that page that long. It was about a guy that's going out in like the rural areas of where people are addicted to like different type of narcotics. He's helping these. He's trying to help these people. He's not. He's not trying. He's helping these people with all type of different rehab support. He giving these people food. He do what he can. Like he do what he can. I was just sitting there lost in the content, but I get lost in that type of content sometimes. But anyways, moving forward, the reason I suggest people go and read the bio is because I'm a firm believer that when you go into somebody's social media page and you just take a second to just read their bio, it'll give you a lot better feel about the content that you get ready to engage into. Um, Sometimes I could be very long winded when I get to talking about a topic, when I get to talking about an experience that I've had. I've had to work on shortening up like my talking points and not being so extended on certain topics when I want to cover 5 or 6 topics because it gets very lengthy sometimes. The video could get long, and sometimes once it gets too long, I may not be in the energy to deliver on that intentional level that I want to deliver in. So if it's not going to be in that type of energy, I don't want I don't want to deliver it to y'all. Simple as that. Like it took me a while to actually transition over to creating YouTube videos because I was very aware of the format of like I guess how you have to use the platform. Just put it like that, because I can't think about I can't figure out the words that I want to use. And like I said, I want to keep my content on this page just as limited editing as possible. I don't want to do all that editing. I spent a lot of time doing a lot of editing, paying for a lot of marketing, I did a lot of things that wasn't a factor that I learned that wasn't a major factor in the process of what I was looking to achieve. So when I started practicing other things, going outside the boxes, that's when I started to learn like, oh, experience is a great teacher. Experience is the best teacher. So regardless of all the insight I ever took in, I always go and apply it my own way to see how it worked for me. I want to touch on a few more topics, a few more subjects, and I'm gonna close the video out and post it. Hopefully it go up. I hope it's not too long. So when it comes to this page that I created, Let's Grow Together. Think of it as your own page. Think of it as a page that you would want to see grow, as you would want to see your own page grow. Think of it as you being in the mindset of like, man, I wanna do this YouTube stuff this year. I wanna grow this page. I wanna get monetized. I wanna make these hundreds and thousands of dollars. I wanna make these great connections with these great people. And I wanna do it this year. As a matter of fact, I wanna do it in the next 6 months, in the next 3 months. And when you tell yourself that, you gotta stand on that. If you don't believe it, you gotta find a way to believe that that's possible. Whatever you can see, whatever you believe that you wanna be, you got to find a way to see it. You got to find a way to visualize it. You got to find a way to really feel it in your spirit. You got to feel it in your chest. Like it got to come from the gut, from the heart. Like you got to really be aligned with the energy. That's why I suggest people go look at my bio, because it's not just based on you got to go and get this program. You got to download this AI. You have to be in alignment in so many different aspects to see success in anything. So that's why I added that little part to my bio where I say, this is about spiritual self accountability. You got to be consistent. Like you want growth, you have to apply. You have to apply. You have to apply certain aspects to really see real growth. It has to be within you. I could come here and tell everybody a bunch of stuff that they've been hearing already. Like I didn't heard it. I didn't heard a lot of stuff people just want you to hear because they want you to buy into something. They want you to. I'm not selling nobody nothing. I'm doing this on my own time. I'm not gonna sit here and put a cash app up here so people can give me no cash app, because I'm not coming here to ask these people for no money on the internet. I'm gonna do the work. If I could just help somebody, if I could just build a community within being resourceful, just as on a human level, that right there is good enough for me. It ain't always about money. Over the past few years, over the past 10 years, to be honest, one of the things that I've noticed that I'm just over is just like the buster stuff that people are doing, to the sucker stuff, like the stuff that's just is never worked in 100 years, to try to achieve success in whatever way that they believe success is. And a lot of time people believe success is in a lie that's told. Like one thing I could say about being on this journey of entrepreneurship, and that's been over 25 years, I didn't spend a whole lot of money getting ripped off. I spent a lot of money investing into stuff that wasn't necessarily like a factor. It was accounting for money that needed to go in other areas for other things. And I had to realize that through experience though. But I realized like over these last 10 years, there's a lot of people that just falling for all type of stuff that's just like a scam. People asking for their money, they find a way to get people like I'm just over it. Like I know a lot of y'all is over it too. Like I know it's just like sickening getting on the internet and it's just being filled up and polluted with all of this garbage. Yeah, no matter what platform you get on, it's a lot of garbage. But you have to train the algorithm. You have to train your algorithm. Even the words that you say. We in the age of AI. So when you say certain things, your social platform is recording that. The wordings that you use when you post your content in your description. You like everything matters on the journey of social, social presence being in social media. My cat roaming around. But it's the last thing and I'm gonna close this out. My intentions, my intentions here for this page is to grow this page. Within 6 months, I'm about 28 days late. I just created this page January 28, 2025. I had intentions on creating this page January 1st, actually launching the page, but it was some other stuff that came up. And that's what y'all gonna learn about this journey, being on this journey with me. I may tell y'all, oh, I'm gonna post 7 days a week. Something might come up 2 days out of those 7 days. It's okay. It's not the end of life. I promise I'll make up for those 2 days that I wasn't able to post. This won't be a one foot in, one foot out type of experience. That's why I waited so long before I even created this page because I wanted to be ready to be able to like just talk to people, have the time to actually create content consistently and actually be in a setting that I want to be in when I start creating this content. So yeah, it's been highly anticipated. I'm just I'm anxious to see how this gonna go because I've never created a YouTube page with these type of intentions. But I can say over the last 10 years, I'm gonna reiterate this again. I'm just fed up with the stuff that people trying to do to get money. They're trying to do it to get money. Like I'm monetized on every other platform except for YouTube. So this is not my first YouTube page. This is just the first time I'm going down this path on this journey that I'm on with it, the direction that I'm taking now. I want to show people, I want to give it straight forward to people, cut out all of that extra stuff that's not even going to get you nowhere. When I say extra stuff, just meaning people that's just out there want you to buy into stuff. And it's not nothing wrong with buying into things to cultivate the process and add value to your business or to your process. You have to be very vigilant. You got to be very, very, very open minded and just think about it. Don't be so quick. A lot of time we can be anxious and we just buy into stuff. I'm not asking for no money. I'm not here to sell anybody anything or any of that. You like the content, you follow it, you share it at your own discretion. I'm not gonna make people feel bad about not following, not sharing, not subscribing to the channel. Sometimes it may take people a few different times to see something and investigate it, watch it, see what it is. Person might not have really had time to pay attention to your content the first time they saw it. They might have saw you again coming through the algorithm, and you just might get that subscribe that second time. But like I said, this ain't gonna be that type of page. You know, I'm still not gonna. I'm not. I didn't come here to get discouraged or create content based on if people gonna subscribe to it or not. Because at the end of the day, I know that there's gonna be a lot of stuff that I say that people don't that don't. I'm sorry. It's gonna be a lot of stuff that I say that people don't agree with, and there's gonna be a lot of stuff that I say that people are definitely gonna agree with. But it's up to each individual to invest the time into whatever it is that they're looking to get out of life. Period. And I know we also living in a day and age where you deal with a lot of people that have a lot of short attention spans when it comes to like when it comes to stuff that your attention span should be really like extended on, and you should really be investing time and energy and attention to that. It's not there. Um, so I don't expect people that's looking to come up overnight, come up in 3 days, start something today, and they want to see 100 grand by next week. I'm not I'm not here to speak from that perspective. I'm not here to sell you a dream. I don't sell dreams. Um, yeah, I don't chase dreams. I turn dreams into physical reality. That's it. That's all I can do. Because when you dream, especially if it's something that you see yourself doing and you want to be, you gotta you gotta really put it into play. That's just more confirmation right there. But I think I'm gonna wrap it up. I think this was a long. I think this was a long enough video for a first video. I think it was lengthy enough. I didn't do no editing, and like I said, more than likely this is gonna be the longest video that's on my page because this is the first video, and I just want to be able to give people a little bit of a feel on where I'm coming from. The type of perspective that I'm speaking from with this being the first video. That's very important. Um, yeah, like I said, I'm gonna just keep it on a human perspective. On a human level, and I'm gonna just speak from experiences. I can be very long-winded. I didn't expect this video to be this long. I didn't know if I would have the flow in me because sometimes I don't have the flow. I just be sitting there trying to make up stuff and trying to think of stuff to say. But I think everything flowed out as natural as I wanted it, as natural that I wanted it to flow out today. I ain't do no editing, I ain't do no retakes or none of that because I learned on the journey, and I know I said I was gonna close it out like 5 minutes ago, but I'm definitely gonna close it out after this. But I did kind of speak on this already. Like I said, I learned that a lot of stuff that I find myself doing, like for like certain industries that I'm in, like it's I guess it also pertains to what you advertising and what you promoting. I find myself just like spending all this extra time editing stuff when it didn't even matter to the people. The people just wanted the service because I wasn't always I wasn't always as rounded as I was in my first 5 years. I may have been rounded well from my perspective in those first 5 years, but by the time I got 15, 20 years into entrepreneurship and just advertising, just understanding like how the spirit play a part and how self accountability and consistency. And like I started seeing all these other factors that really play a real important part of like growth. When I started noticing, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a whole new level of like business for me when I started realizing those factors. But kind of lost my train of thought. But you gotta be you gotta be ready to actually put the work in. If it take you 2 hours to sit there and watch a video to learn how to mix something together so you can make a solution to mold something. Like I'm a jewelry maker. I create jewelry. So it's been a long road. But I wasn't sitting there watching the clock, watching the time. A lot of time I found myself being inconsistent, not having the enthusiasm to keep moving, being discouraged a lot of days. So it was a lot of ups and downs, and that's just what it is until you lock in with yourself and you realize, like, okay, I have to apply these other aspects, and I have to comply. I have to comply with it. Like you gotta really hold yourself accountable, as if like you going to go work for somebody, you being consistent, and you punching that clock. Like you gotta be like that with yourself, all the way to the fullest, like all the way. You gotta be to work 5 days out the week. 8 o'clock, 7 a.m. What you do? You get up at 5, 6. You start getting prepared. Some of y'all might get up 3 hours prior. That's what you gotta do. If you know you don't feel like making no jewelry today, hold on. Some days I don't feel like creating stuff. Might not be in the greatest mood to create nothing, right? But at the same time, it's like I have to remain in that present. I have to stay in that present moment. Like I said earlier in the video, that present thinking. You know, you got to stay in that present moment and just know that the process is trusting in you to trust in it. And I'm going to close it out and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace. Appreciate everybody.